Hi, welcome back to Becoming Untamed. We are so glad to have you here. I'm Jeremy.
And I'm Grace.
And we are so glad if this is your first episode with us, or if you've been with us since the beginning, we're so excited to have you here today. Yay. What we're talking about today is, what does it look like when you choose yourself? And is it selfish to choose yourself?
So good.
And I know for me, like when I grew up, I was actually taught a lot about giving. I grew up in church, and every Sunday, without fail, there was talk about giving. And I love giving. I love being generous. It's part of who I am.
Totally.
And there wasn't a lot of talk about receiving. And for me, I started learning, I'm learning a lot about giving, but not about receiving. And I'm even thinking back specifically to last November, and you were there. We were all in Scottsdale, and you were actually sitting right next to me. We were having breakfast together.
That. Yeah.
And our friend Spring came up to me, and she's like, "Jer, you show up so big for everybody. How can we show up for you?" And I gave the worst answer in the history of answers. I don't know. And what I got to was, after working through it, was I had spent so much time learning how to give that giving just felt second nature to me. But receiving was a skill that I hadn't worked on. It wasn't that I didn't mind receiving. It wasn't that I didn't want to receive. It's I spent so little time working on that skill that I didn't know how to do it.
That's so interesting.
And so since then, I've been practicing receiving, and I wake up every morning and I figure out the answer to that question preemptively, so that if somebody has, "Hey, Jer, how can I help you today?" I have a pre-baked answer. So what I do is I check in with myself, and I'm like, all right, if I wanted to receive something today, is it still that? Or have I changed my mind since then? And if I haven't changed my mind, it's that.
I love that.
And then as soon as I use it, I need to come up with another one.
Totally. And
so the more I've practiced that, the better I've gotten.
Oh, I love that.
What about you? Have there been any moments where you've had opportunities that really stand out to choose yourself? And has it felt selfish for you?
Yeah, so that's a great question. And as I was sitting here and you were chatting and we were talking about our topic today, I had a lot of awareness on the fact that for so long, I truly cared how everyone else felt or what everyone else wanted. And I never fully chose myself. I never asked, okay, what does Grace want? Right? And so even sitting here today as you were talking, I was like, I think for so long I've managed other people's emotions or put that on myself. And in reality, that was just self-abandonment. And I didn't even notice that I was doing it. It was mainly just to get the stamp of approval or that's just what I thought I should do.
Right. And what did you notice when you were doing that?
Well, I noticed that I wasn't even doing it intentionally until recently. I'm like, what does Grace want? And what I've noticed is how differently I show up when I am clear on what I want and also aware of how I'm making someone else feel at the same time. Right. And so like what I mean by that, for example, is I had my friend in town and my family in town. Right. And so what was hard for me is like, okay, how am I going to work and stick to my normal routines and be present with them? And one of the first things you told me was you can have it all. And so it was just a practice of, okay, if I can have it all, what does that look like today? And if I want to be fully present with my family or with my friends, what do I need to do in order for me to feel good about being fully present? And it's been super, super powerful.
And how did that work out for you over those couple of weeks?
Way better than I probably could have imagined, And what I've noticed is that sometimes I do feel guilty. I'm like, oh, how did I make them feel? Or was I present, or, oh, did I work too much, or, oh, this or that? Like, are they bored? Right. And at the same time, I'm like, I did what I needed to do. So, for example, if I worked till 3, then from 3 p.m. on out, I was fully present. I wasn't worried about, oh, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this. And that's because I chose myself and I stayed true to my commitments. And in return, I was a way better friend, daughter, and sister when I was around my people.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
It's like the old saying, put on your own air mask first.
Right.
And then
So
assist
true.
the person next to you with theirs.
Yeah. And it's so true. It's so true.
And I've actually gotten to experience putting on my air mask before.
Tell me more.
I was flying back. This was a couple years ago. Actually, it was literally almost 2 years ago. It was 2 years ago in June.
Wow.
I was flying back from Atlanta to Utah, and my intuition came in, and I started getting the sense of there's something you need to see that's right under your nose.
Interesting.
And I was like, I wonder what's going on. I wonder, my heart's right under my nose. Okay, is this letting me know that I'm feeling something and I'm just missing what I'm feeling?
Right.
And the intuitive hit kept coming in, and it was like, no, it's literally right under your nose. Pay attention. And I had my little flight monitor thing that tracks the airline up. And so flying from Atlanta to Salt Lake is east to west flight. And I happened to notice, I was like, wait, it's showing the airplane going north. I wonder if there's something wrong with the software. And just as I have that thought, I see the flight attendants go running down the aisle, and the oxygen masks drop from the ceiling.
Oh my gosh.
And they come over the intercom and they're like, please put on your oxygen masks. We're going to make an emergency landing. We were about 20 minutes from Salt Lake, and we were about 15 minutes from Denver.
Wow.
And we ended up landing 10 minutes away in Wyoming.
Wow.
In this tiny town called Casper. And this massive 737 jumbo jet with 200 passengers landed in this tiny airport that didn't have enough room for us.
That's funny.
So they had us hang out in the hangar because they didn't have, I think the lobby could seat like 50 people.
Oh, wow.
And they ended up putting us in like all the hotels that the town had.
I bet.
Like they had to book like 9 different hotels for everybody.
Wow.
And we ended up flying home the next day.
Wow.
And so I got to experience that day putting on my own air mask first and then helping the person next to me because she was freaking out. She was trying to get to a wedding and this happened. And I was like, all right, get on your phone. Everybody on this plane is probably going to try to rent a car. So go rent a car right now. You'll be able to get there. You're going to have to drive all night.
Right.
But that will get you there.
Oh.
And so I helped her because she was panicking. And I'm like, I will help you walk through the process. And so in that moment, I got to put on my own air mask first. And had I not have done that, I wouldn't have been able to breathe to help her because I needed the air in order to help her. And so often my experience is when we're putting other people first and we're not taking care of ourselves, we're not able to show up as our full self.
I agree.
And when we can't show up as our full self, people are actually getting less than the best of us. And we're feeling depleted and nobody wins.
Exactly.
So what do you notice? Like, what did you tangibly notice that felt so alive for you in that moment as you chose you? And did it feel selfish to you?
That's a great question. And what I noticed is that it felt unfamiliar. And what I mean when I say that is I don't think I've ever intentionally, up until recently, like fully intentionally chosen myself. Because I think we choose ourselves in multiple times a day. Like it's a practice to be very intentional about it. And so I did notice a few times, like oh, I feel bad. Or, oh, how is this person feeling? Or, oh, did I show up okay? And so I think at first I felt almost guilty for choosing myself and doing what I needed to do to be fully present. And I think part of that was me maybe not being able to fully articulate that, hey, in order for me to be present with you from this time on, this is what I need to do.
Yeah.
And I also think like my goals are different than my family's and my friends. And so maybe I had a story that they wouldn't understand. Right. And so I think it was a little unfamiliar and uncomfortable at first. But then I noticed it was actually this past Monday. I was in Iowa visiting back home and I was supposed to fly out on Monday. And I probably like Saturday, I was like, I feel like I'm not going home Monday. Like, I feel like it's going to be Tuesday, but I just sat with it until Monday. I was like, yeah, this is not feeling like a yes. And what I ended up doing was I had the most productive day on Monday.
Cool.
And I just shared like, hey, I really need to get this done. And I can't wait to spend time with you guys tonight and just have a dinner, whatever the night brings. But it was super cool because I didn't feel guilty. I was just in the zone and I was 110% focused and got everything I needed done. Like it, you know, when you have a very productive day and then you can finally just exhale, you're like, I got everything done. Right.
Yes.
And then I got to just be fully present with them and show up for my family and show up for my sister. She had a bad practice. And so I was just so present and just like, I had no other agenda. There was nothing else on my mind besides spending time with my family. And that felt so good because, you know, for so long I had 20 voices in my head or my mind. I was here, but my mind was everywhere else but here. And so it just really showed me like, hey, when I actually honor what I need, like I show up so much bigger for the people around me and I just feel so much more like love, you know?
Yeah. And so on Monday, how did you know in that moment what you needed? Like how were you clear on what Grace needed in that moment?
Yeah. So I guess I had the practice just throughout the week. I was like, what do I want to do right now? Like what feels good? And I was just kind of practicing, but I kind of eased my way into it. I was exhausted and I was like, okay, I woke up a little late. Working out's not feeling like a yes, but going on my computer was. And so I was like, okay. And so I just trusted that. Like I didn't have a plan or an agenda because I thought I was going home. Right. And then I was like, oh, I'm not going home. So I changed my flight and looked at what I had to do. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to start getting things done. And that's just what felt in alignment. And I just trusted that. And it ended up being a beautiful day.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And how do you notice a difference in your own life between moments of self-care and selfishness? Like where's that line for you where you're taking care of yourself versus you're being selfish?
So I think what selfish means to me is not caring about what others think. Like doing what I think being selfish means is that you do what you want to do without caring what others think. And I actually think I used to be that way, for sure. You know, like my mom would be like, you are just so selfish. And I don't think I realized I was being selfish because I didn't have the awareness on how I was making others feel.
So the way I look at it is not selfish, but self first.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah.
And if I need to take some time for me to fill my cup so that I can show up for everybody else, everybody's getting the best of me in that moment.
Right. And I don't think that's selfish.
Right. So for me, selfish, if you want to call it that, might be lack of attunement to what others need. Maybe tunnel vision on just what I need at all costs.
Yes.
Or maybe not caring.
Yeah.
Maybe just straight up, hey, I don't care what you need because I'm so focused on me and I'm doing me. Right. And like, I think that's kind of the line.
Totally.
Is, I think attunement helps us hit that line.
Totally.
And even if there's something where I need to take care of me I can still acknowledge you.
Right.
And a practice I used to have and still do. I used it in business. I used it in relationships. I've used it everywhere. Is the concept of no and.
Right.
Which I'm saying, hey, I can't do this. Here's what I can do. And so when I did improv comedy, one of the things we were taught was yes and.
Yes and.
Because yes, we're going to do this. And here's the next piece. And here's the next piece. And here's the next piece. And here's the next piece.
Right. I love that.
And so I took yes and I was like, sometimes just saying no feels so harsh. It's like, hey, I'm just shutting this down.
Right.
And there's times where that's absolutely appropriate.
Totally.
Hey, we're not doing that.
Right.
But there's times where somebody is genuinely showing up with great intentions. And it's like, hey, I can't do that. Here's what I do want to do. Here's what I can do.
Totally. I love that.
And it's an opportunity to meet somebody and to co-create something that works for everybody.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
I really love that.
If we were to think about the opposite side of that line, where maybe you don't want to hurt somebody else's feelings and you're so attuned to others that you step into caretaking for others or self-abandoning. And have there ever been times in your life where caretaking and trying to manage other people's feelings, trying to make sure everybody else is okay has actually led to resentment in your life? 100%.
100%. And I think that's a great question because I think a lot of times, at least for me, I didn't even notice. I didn't even notice it was happening. And I think a good example of this is like in business. For me, I was always there for my clients. Whenever they texted, I'd answer. They want to see a house right now. Like I was always there, even if I had X, Y, and Z to do, or I was tired, or, I was preoccupied, right? I then took it on myself thinking I needed to, which is out of a place of obligation, and would drop everything for what they needed. And what that did for me was just create resentment for what I was doing. And instead of being like super like, yes, like I'm so happy to help you, is more of like a, ugh, like I'm not annoyed, but I'm bothered. Right. And so now I've had that awareness, and now how I approach the conversations, even if I get a text and someone's like, hey, can you jump on a call? Right. I'll just ground myself. Like it's so simple. Like I'll just reset my energy so I can show up out of the purest, like most loving, helpful place.
I love that. I love that. And for me, the way I grew up was, it was what was expected. It was celebrated to take care of everybody else.
Right. That's interesting.
And so having unmet needs just came with the territory.
Totally.
And then also feeling like I couldn't say what I wanted to say, feeling like I would get in trouble if I did.
Right.
So I learned how to bottle up what I wanted to say.
Right.
And you bottle something up long enough and it explodes. And so I would go and just hold my emotions and hold my emotions and hold my emotions until I couldn't hold anymore, and then explode.
Totally.
And then get in trouble for exploding.
Interesting.
And so, yeah, there was all kinds of resentment in there.
Totally.
There was all kinds of resentment for, like I remember I worked with my dad. And, he owned an auto shop. And we weren't really great working together. And I kept going back because he would offer me more money than everybody else. And at the end of the day, like I wasn't really, like we just didn't work well together. Because it's hard to blur those relationships. It's like, okay, when are you dad and when are you my boss?
Right.
And I was 18, 19, 17, 16, in that area, 16 to like 19.
Right.
And, I'm transitioning from a boy to a man.
Right.
And so there's that dynamic happening too. And so had I have been selfish and said, hey, this actually isn't feeling good for me, I'm going to go, it's not all about the money. I'm going to go make what I'm going to make. But I'm going to go take care of me so that my relationship with my dad can be healthier.
That's good. That's really good.
And there was resentment, and I had to work through that resentment. And I had to release that resentment,
Totally.
recognize the part that I held in it, and let it go.
Totally. And when you noticed the resentment, like, were there any messages that came up for you, or who did you feel resentment towards, or?
There was a combination of feeling resentment toward my dad, like, toward not being able to express my voice, toward people in leadership who taught me the stuff about giving and receiving.
Right.
But then also resentment for myself.
Right.
Like, why didn't I use my voice? And noticing that I'm actually resenting myself.
Exactly.
And getting to work through that as well.
Right.
So, Grace, talking about your journey to letting go of resentment so you can show up authentically at work. What's it been like for you to let go of that resentment?
Well, how that's looked for me is that I just have a lot more love for what I do, and it just doesn't feel as heavy. And it used to feel so heavy and chaotic, and that's because I was putting other people's, or I was putting expectations on myself, and I was putting others' needs before my own. And so really a lot of this started in September, last September. And what changed was that in the mornings I started going on runs, saunaing, and cold plunging in the mornings. And I would not go on my phone before I probably got done at like 7 a.m. So like from 5 to 7, it was just me. And that's when I really started realizing the importance of, I'm filling my cup first so then I can pour into others. And I think for so long, and this is probably normal, like starting out in a career and maybe not having a super strong sense of identity, but I would just put the work first. And so in reality, I created that because like I would be with family, or I would be out to dinner with my boyfriend, or hanging out with friends, and I'd get a text and I'd drop everything. And so really I created that. And so it's like you were saying, like you had resentment for yourself. Really, that's what it was, right? I was like, I, at the end of the day, had the resentment for myself. But it just took some reflecting for me to realize like, hey, I'm actually the one creating this. And so since letting all of that go, I've just been in a lot more joy and just in so much more alignment. And I mean, you heard me talking on the phone with my clients, like I took a breath, right? Got into that state, and then I was just better able to serve them. And at the end of the day, I didn't feel depleted. I felt like energized.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
And what does feeling that joy, what does that feel like for you in those moments where you've chosen yourself?
I feel like it's like on its way to like flow state, you know, like it just feels easy. It feels light. I don't have to ever think about what to say. It just feels like uplifting is the best way I can put it.
Yeah. And when do you know that you're there? How can you tell?
Well, how I can tell, I can just tell, and like, I don't know how to like fully put it into words, but it's just like in the way that I feel. Like I'm like, yes, like I know exactly what to say. My tone's good. Like I'm like positioned a certain way, if that makes sense. Like totally. I'm just like, yes, like it just is all in alignment. And when you are in alignment, right, that's where the magic happens, truly.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And as you were working through and letting go of that resentment, was there ever a time where you noticed, oh, I created a story about what I thought others wanted, and it may or may not have been true, but it was the story that I created that actually created the resentment?
Totally. Like, yeah. I mean, I think at the end of the day, a lot of times it is the stories that we create, right? And my story was that, okay, someone texts, I need to text back that second, and I need to give them this. And my team leader back home in Iowa, Monica, actually said to me, because one time I was like, okay, like, what are my blind spots? Or, you know, what, like, help me have some awareness. And she's like, sometimes I think you need to pause and then respond. Like, you don't need to respond right away. And I used to think I had to, like, something would happen, I'm like, and I would freak out. I would literally freak out. And that's doing no one justice, right? But I thought, like, if I got a text or someone was upset at me or someone needed something, that I had to drop everything and help them right away. Whereas now I realize that, okay, when I take a second and I breathe and I sit with it, then, you know, I come up with much better solutions and am much more helping and caring and loving, right? And I don't have the resentment for myself or for others because I just took a second.
Totally. Totally. And I remember when I was in my consulting roles, like, I remember them literally paying or saying, they would literally say to me, we're paying you to be the smartest guy in the room.
Interesting.
And it wasn't that I needed to know every answer to every question right there and then, because sometimes you're in a room with somebody and this is their thing. They're the deep specialist in this one thing.
Right.
And so they want to go really deep with you, and you better be able to go deep with them to a point.
Interesting.
But they're going to ask that one question that's specific to their specific thing.
Right.
And in that moment, it's okay to say, hey, thank you for the question. Let me get back to you. I'm going to go chat with my team.
Exactly.
And we're going to give you a great answer. Would it be okay if I got back to you tomorrow?
Right.
And I never had anybody be like, absolutely not.
Exactly.
You're not leaving until you give me this answer. I'm locking the doors. You don't get out of here. I never had that happen.
Not once. Not once.
And yet, I'm sure I created that story because there was times I would walk into those situations going, oh my gosh, I'm going to get interrogated.
Right.
Like in the movies where they're swinging the light. Where were you at 3 a.m. on Wednesday?
Right. Exactly.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
And so if I'm going in that energy, I've already created that expectation that I'm going to have to fake my way through it.
Well, that's
and
good.
People can totally tell when you're faking your way through something.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And so in those moments, it was just like, no, my authentic self can say, hey, let me get back to you.
Right.
And every time I did, it was more than okay.
Right. I love that.
And then even with friends saying, hey, I would love to have this conversation. Can we carve out some time for this? Or I'm feeling really tired right now.
Right.
I love spending time with you and I need to take care of me. Like even yesterday, like we were prepping for the show and you were like, hey, let's do it earlier so I can get some rest. And so that was perfect.
It was. Yeah. And yesterday was such a great example because, you know, I was just flying home from Iowa and we had to prep for our show today, like you were saying. And I just remember you saying like, hey, I have a coaching call from here to here or tonight at 8. And I just, you know, felt into it and I was like, okay, I'm on 2.5 hours of sleep. Jer, how would it feel if we talked at like 2 p.m.? And so that was an example of me putting myself first and choosing me. But also the awareness I had was that that's what I wanted to do and why I wanted to ask you to do it earlier. And so it was for me to feel like to take care of me, but B also, so then I showed up more present with you. And so I just think it's like a super powerful example of what we were just chatting about.
And it kind of reminds me of what we were chatting about in our car ride down here, how love is freedom.
Totally.
And so if you have a friend who's putting themselves first, from my perspective, the coolest thing you can do is celebrate it and
super cool.
Figure out how do I how do we co-create something that allows everybody to put themselves first?
I love that.
So like yesterday, like we were figuring out schedules because I had multiple coaching clients and you were flying and like there was a lot going on. And it mattered to me that you were able to show up fully. It mattered to me that I was able to show up fully. And we found something that worked for both of us.
I love that.
And we celebrate each other.
Yeah.
And there's been times where it's like, hey, Jer. There's been multiple times where it's like, hey, Jer, I want to connect with you. Not right now. I'm going to come find you later.
Yeah.
And that's always okay because that's the way we roll with each other.
Totally.
Is we've created the safety to put ourselves first.
I love that.
And
That's powerful.
there's never Captain Hurt feelings over here going, wait a minute, what about me?
Right.
What about my turn? What about my feelings?
Yeah, that is true.
And what's cool is as we create safety for ourselves to do it, we notice when other people are doing it, we celebrate it.
That is so true. That's beautiful. Well, Jer, I would love to hear some examples. As we've been talking about putting ourselves first, have you ever witnessed any of your friends putting themselves first, and how have you celebrated them?
Yeah, well, I'm going to start by bragging on my friend Grace. Because a couple weeks ago, you mentioned you had your friend in town and you wanted to spend time with her. And you also wanted to go hang out with the girls who were all in town. And so you were like, I love her and I want to spend time with her. And it's also really important for me, for my own personal time, that I get time with these girls who are all in town.
Right.
And so you were able to have the conversation with her and it was able to be okay. And you were able to have some really special time with her, have the really special time with the girls, and get to show up fully. And so, like, that's a great example. And then I remember a couple of years ago, I had a friend, and she had just done a major inner child work process. And she came over and she gave the best hugs.
Oh,
Like, one of those girls, and I think she was 5'2" and tiny, but when she hugged you, you knew you had been hugged.
that. That's great.
And she came up to me and she's like, "Hey, Jer, I'm really tender right now. Would it be okay if we didn't do a hug right now?" And I was like, "Absolutely.
That's amazing.
Thank you for letting me know what you need." And it wasn't that I did anything wrong. She was just expressing, she was taking care of herself first. And it wasn't selfish.
That's beautiful.
It was taking care of what she needed. And so we went around and did what we needed to do. And a couple hours later, she looks at me and she smiles and she goes, "Okay, I'm ready for that hug now." And it was an epic hug.
Oh, that's amazing. I love that story.
That's a beautiful thing is, you know, how often do people give a hug because they think they're supposed to? Or how often do people take a phone call because they think they're supposed to? How often does obligation sabotage our abilities to take care of ourselves? And what if choosing ourselves what if part of it's letting go of either perceived or real obligations?
That's good. That is good.
So has there been a moment in your life where you've been able to let go of perceived or real obligations and really choose yourself?
I would say a lot of it has actually just been happening recently. And I think there's definitely times, you know, in my 21 years of living, right? But recently it's been showing up very big. And I think it's like the example that you shared. And, you know, even me being back home, was many times where I had multiple options, if you will. And I would just sit with what felt good to me. And I just completely let go of what everyone else thinks or what I think I'm supposed to do. And I just I just acted upon what felt in alignment with me.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
And that search for inner alignment is really what Becoming Untamed is. Because if we're aligned and we're able to be our true self,
Right.
and our authentic self, that's where the magic is.
Totally.
That's where that feeling of untamed happens, because if we're tamed, we're trying to fit into what's normal. We're trying to fit into what's expected. We're trying to fit into our obligations. And if we're able to just shine and just be and just let ourselves be wild,
I love that.
then true beauty and magic and possibility starts happening in our life.
That's beautiful.
And in those moments, we can truly have it all. And we loved having you along with us on this episode. And we would love for you to share this with your friends. We'd love for you to share any content, any ideas. We'd love to hear from you. Feel free to drop comments. Feel free to share this. Feel free to subscribe. We look forward to continuing to connect with you and continuing to have us come along with you as we all become untamed.
We'll see you next time.